Hi everyone, welcome to Study Room. I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself. I'm Pratyaksha, your chemistry teacher, and today I'll be teaching you synthetic fibers and plastics. In this chapter, we'll be learning about fibers, we'll be learning about natural fibers, mainly synthetic fibers. We'll be learning about the different kinds of synthetic fibers, how are they procured, what are their uses, and so on and so forth. Later on, we will also have a look at plastics. We will have a look at their uses, their origin, and how much plastics they are harmful for the environment. Okay, so let's get started with the chapter by learning about fabric. Now, fabric. What do you understand by fabric? Fabric is a cloth that is produced specially by knitting, weaving, or felting fibers. So, either from natural sources or from artificial sources, we get fibers. Okay, fibers are those small thread-like filament. Okay, that we get mostly from plants, or we procure it from artificial sources. We make it from artificial sources. When we get that fiber, that small thread-like substance, then what do? We accumulate them. We accumulate 1, 2 millions, thousands of fibers. Okay, and from those fibers, we again make small interlocked pieces that are known as yarns. Okay, when these yarns are made, they are either knitted, weaved, felted, or by other so many processes. And from those yarns, then we are able to make fabric. Okay, so first we get fiber from either natural or artificial sources. The most common natural sources is plants. All right, we get that small, thin filament-like structure, like a thread. All right, it's so small and it's so thin in diameter that it almost resembles a thread. From that thread-like substance, we gather them in huge numbers, and then we make small interlocked material. That material we name them yarns. And from that yarns, after we have collected lots of yarns, we either knit them or weave them, felt them into many other processes, and then we get that fabric, that cloth which we wear. So what are the different kind of fabric that we wear? We either wear cotton fabrics, lace, chiffon, khadi. So whenever you go to buy some clothes, or now, for example, there is this online fashion trending, right? So whenever you buy clothes online, or whenever you go outside to buy clothes, what is your first preference? Some people, they look for the kind of designs they like. Some people, they look for what is the color of the material. All right, but some people, they look for what fabric the cloth is made up of, whether it is made up of cotton, lace, chiffon, silk, rayon, polyester, even khadi, even wool. So there are so many different fabrics. There are so many different kinds of material that cloths are made up of, and um, either from our special uses. For example, in summer we prefer to wear cotton clothes. In winter we prefer to wear woolen clothes. Or sometimes when we have to go to a fancy party or a wedding, or somewhere where we have to wear very fancy clothes, right? We may opt for lace, we may opt for chiffon, sometimes even silk. All right, so there are so many fibers, there are so many different sort of fibers from which fabrics that we wear from our day-to-day uses that are made. So what are fibers? Like I told you, fibers are these thread or filament-like structure, okay? These small thread-like structure from which a vegetable tissue, mineral substance or textile is formed. So now the use of the fiber that I'm describing you is mainly for the textile industry, is mainly for the cloth industry, okay? But fibers, they are basically these small thread, and from these threads we also get vegetable tissues are made up of these threads, okay? And even mineral substances that occur naturally either in plants or in nature, they sometimes are also made up of these filament like structures which are fibers, okay? And when we procure them from for the special use of making cloth, then we make yarns out of fibers, and from yarns we make fabrics. But in nature, how do fibers exist? They exist as this filament-like structure from which a vegetable tissue, okay, vegetable tissue is made. Okay, then fibers are also used for making a lot of household articles as well, like rugs. You have carpets, you have bed sheets. So not just the clothes we wear, but all the other ways in which we decorate our household items. All right. Fibers are of two types, natural fibers and artificial fibers. This chapter is especially dedicated for artificial fibers. But before we, delve into artificial fibers, let's have a look at natural fibers. Make a list of some common articles made from fibers. Let's brainstorm over here. Okay. So we know that we have two kinds of fibers, natural fibers and artificial fibers. And we will be learning about natural fibers right now. Before that, let's make some common articles list, okay, made from fibers. For example, have a look at this picture over here. We have this, you may say that this is a hat made up of jute, okay? But how is jute obtained? Jute is also a fiber, right? Jute is also obtained by collecting lots of fibers and processing them into, that proper pattern from which we get that material out of which we can either make this hat or this bag over here. All right, there is another bag over here. There are clothes that we wear, they are made up of fibers. All right, then there is the bed sheet that I told you about. There are carpets. There are so many items, so many. If you look around your room, if you look around your home, you will find so many articles. You will find so many, even the clothes the different kind of clothes that you wear, they're made up of different kinds of fibers. Each fiber gives you a different texture, gives you a different, comfort. It has a different weight of its own. All right. So all these common articles are made up of fibers. Can you name some natural fibers? Like I told you, we will just be discussing natural fibers, but you know that natural fibers are obtained from nature, right? So what is the most common natural fabric that comes to your mind? Fabric are made from fibers, right? So you can think of fabrics to, again, think that what natural fibers are made up of. So some of the common natural fibers is cotton, right? Because cotton, when we obtain raw cotton from the cotton plant, then we spin it into yarn, and from yarn we get that fabric. So cotton is the most common natural fabric. Cotton is the most common natural fiber from which this natural fabric is made, okay, that we wear in summers. Can you name some others? I think of silk. Okay. Silk is made from mulberry worm, right? So when we get silk, silk is made from worm, those tiny thread-like structures that are woven from these worms. We procure that. That is a fiber. We procure that. We process that into yarns, and from that yarn, we get this fiber, silk. So these are the two kind of natural fibers that we get from nature. What are natural fibers? Let's finally delve into the question. Natural fibers are those fibers that are obtained either from plants or animals. Like I told you, silk, right? So silk, we don't get that from plant, but we get that from a worm, right? What is a worm? Worm is an animal, right? So natural fibers are those fibers that we get from nature. Man does not have to synthesize it. Man does not have to make it, right? We either get it from plants or we either get it from animals. These fibers have a wide range of applications in the manufacture of composite materials. Paper and felt. Felt is a type of textile material. Paper, for example, is you obtain that from trees. You obtain that from wood, right? So there are different layers of natural fibers that are then processed into sheets, and from that sheet, that yarn is made, and from that yarn, the fabric is processed. Another example of animal fiber is mohair. Okay, mohair is an animal fiber that is crafted from the hair of the Angora goat. Even wool, right? Even wool and different kinds of shawl that we get from nature. All right. So these are made up of wool from sheep, wool from goat. Okay. So these fibers are obtained from animals, and also there are fruit fibers. So fruit fibers, naturally, we will be getting that from plants. So fruit fibers is obtained from the fruit of a plant like coconut fiber. The husk of the coconut, like you can see here in this picture, right? This husk or this fiber like structure. Okay, even from this fiber, we can obtain some yarn that can be processed either for our fabric, for our wearing purposes, or from some other purposes. We decorate, be it for the decoration purpose or for some other household material. Applications of natural fibers. We will look at how natural fibers are used by man. So cotton, like I told you, is an integral raw material for the textile industry. From cotton, we get cotton clothes, which are super convenient, comfortable, and light to wear in the season of summer. Chitin also can be used to remove certain toxic pollutants from industrial water discharge. Then natural fibers can be used for insulation and for noise absorbing panels. So even when you have to, protect an area from excessive of noise, then you can also, form a layer of these natural fibers, and you can protect that area for from these very disturbing noises. Okay, and natural fibers may have applications in medicine and medicine pharmaceutical industries as well. So you have medicines, then you have these noise absorbing panels. Chitin, a fiber that is also used to remove toxic pollutants. We have fabric that we wear like cotton, like silk. So these are the very small and easy applications of natural fibers. Charkha is the proud of India, right? So we get Gandhiji used to make his own clothes from charkha, right? There is this famous picture of Gandhiji using a charkha. What is charkha used for? Charkha is used for spinning yarn, and from that yarn we get that fabric, right? So we take that fiber, okay, and we put it into the charkha, and from that we spin. So from the fiber, from the cotton fiber, we are using that cotton fiber to spin, and from spinning that cotton fiber, we are getting that cotton yarn. And then once we have got that cotton yarn, we can easily make a cotton fabric. So charkha is the proud of India because charkha is the easiest way, is the most convenient, most cheapest way to make cotton fabrics, and it has been in use, it has been in vogue since the time of Gandhiji.